as you're arriving, you can feel free to do any movements that you need to do to feel comfortable. And sometimes before we sit down, you feel like, oh, but your neck feels a little stiff or your back might feel a little tight. So just exploring those areas, exploring those sensations, and maybe just curling yourself, doing some cat-cows with the spine can be nice, just like curling your back and then arching it, and just doing some movements that your body wants to take, and just trusting what those instincts of movements are, and that your body knows what will feel good. And whenever you feel like you got some kinks out and like you're ready to come to a space of stillness, you may do so. And as you're arriving to that place of stillness, you can just start to check in with the center line of your body and feel the space between your pelvic floor and the back of your throat. And from the tailbone all the way through the crown of the head. And if your legs are outstretched, then from the soles of the feet all the way through the crown of the head. And if you're in a space where you feel safe to do so, at any point you can allow the eyes to gently close. And just mark your arrival today into this practice and into your body with a full, intentional, deep cleansing breath. So a long, slow inhale in through the nose, letting yourself fill up slowly. Pausing when you are full and experiencing what that feels like. And as you need to, letting that go. Slowly exhaling, bit by bit, pushing that final bit of air out of you and pausing in that emptiness. And allow your next breath to come as it's needed. You can breathe just like that a few more rounds if that feels good. And at any point you can release the guidance over your breath altogether and just allow your body to breathe itself. And as you're arriving to this practice, just checking in with any areas of tension or resistance in the body. And checking in with any expression that's resting on your face, any sensations in the shoulders and the hands and the hips. And if you are sitting upright, just fully allowing your seat to be grounded down. And same if you're laying down, fully allowing the backside of your body to be supported by the earth beneath you, by the surface that supports you. And just feeling yourself melting into whatever support is beneath you. Melting into the surface that is beneath your seat and holding you up. And just letting that surface almost hug you. And it's like if you imagine when you hug someone who you really love, and you can kind of like half hug at first, but then when you like exhale and really feel that hug and breathe into it and let yourself be hugged, just having that same sensation with whatever surface you're sitting on or laying on, letting it hug you. And then at the same time as you're allowing yourself to be heavy and supported, you can feel the crown of your head if you're sitting upright, or the front side of your body if you're laying down. Whatever side of your body is facing the ceiling, letting that be naturally pulled and attracted toward the sky above you. So feeling this natural lengthening of your body or widening of your body. as you exist in that in-between space where you are supported and held and safe and heavy, and at the same time you are lifted and light and encouraged. And then just starting to trace the space up and down your spinal cord with your mind's eye, and just noticing any sensations you come up with right away by observing this area. And this can be as simple as just picturing what your spine looks like right now and traveling up and down the spine. So picturing what it looks like in your neck, the cervical spine, and picturing what it's like between the shoulder blades, what it's like in the middle back, in the lower back, and through the tailbone. And then heading back up and just tracing it up and down. And you can even imagine that as your body gently breathes in, there's like a mist, or like a cleansing mist that travels down your spinal cord. And as your body breathes out, that cleansing mist travels back up and out. And just really clearing this channel up and down your body. And letting your breath be that filter. I'm not worrying too much if you're having trouble visualizing any of this. Just trusting that this is what's happening, whether you can visualize it or not. Just trusting that with each breath that you take, the spinal cord and the center line of your body is being awakened and cleansed. And again, softening the jaw, softening the forehead as you do this, softening the ears, the chin, the nose, and just any areas of resistance that you can find within yourself. Bringing awareness to these areas and just reminding them that it is okay. It's okay to soften. It's okay to feel. And as you're feeling the center line of your body, just noticing all the energy centers that exist along this line, all the chakras that are in your body, and start to move through them. And starting with your root and your seat, at your tailbone, at the base of your spine, and just gradually letting your awareness funnel to this area. And once again, just letting yourself be hugged, letting yourself be supported, and trusting that you have everything that you need. Every question that you have, all the answers that you seek, they're all within you already. All the support that you need and things to keep you alive already exist, or else you wouldn't be alive. And letting yourself be fully supported by this earth that is beneath all of us. And just remembering how lucky we are, how blessed we are to be held against this earth. And allowing the earth and gravity to just hug you and be that support to remind you that you are held. You are deeply, deeply held. You are fully safe. If just having the ability to hear the words that I'm saying and to be in whatever space you're in, you are safe. And you can also notice if there's any things that come up when you feel this sense of safety. If there's any things in your life that make you not feel safe, or if there's any action that's being begged of you, or if there's anything you need to adjust to make yourself, to encourage that safety, I guess. And just trusting that you will let go of what you need to let go of when you need to let go of it. And regardless of these other things that might threaten our sense of safety, nothing will change the fact that ultimately we are safe and we are held. And we can do things to encourage that, or we can do things to discourage that. And just remembering your power in that decision. And letting your awareness gradually float up to your sacral space, your sacral chakra. And just feeling the creativity that exists here, and just reminding yourself of times when you have felt creative in the past, and just evoking that sense of your innate creativity. And evoking a sense of deep pleasure and joy, and knowing that you are worthy of these things. And the proof that you are worthy of these things is because you have felt these things. And just encouraging that inner creative nature to shine a bit brighter just by being aware of it. It's like things are always shining. Like if you picture a beautiful gem, it's always shining whether you're looking at it or not. But simply by looking at it and shining a light on it, it will naturally sparkle and grow and feel a bit more magical, I guess. And your creativity can be seen in the same way. You're shining a light on the innately creative person that you are. All humans have creativity. And I think a lot of people, maybe in just the society we've been raised in, have the assumption that some people are creative and other people aren't. And it's like something you have or you don't. But it's not true. We all have creativity, and it's something we can grow. It's something we can focus more on and choose to expand it if we'd like to. And know your creativity is unique to you. And nobody else can share what you have to say. And exactly the way that you say it, with your experiences, with everything that makes you you. So just taking this moment to remember how special you are. And no one can ever take that away from you. And there's no comparing that needs to be done. And letting your awareness now move up further and come into your solar plexus, the space just above the navel. And this is our home of confidence and self-worth, or lack thereof. So just remembering a time when you have felt truly confident and depending on who you are, I think some people tend to automatically match confidence with intellectual things. I think some people automatically will match sense of confidence with physical beauty and things like that. So whatever confidence means to you, but whenever you have felt that sense that you are secure and confident in what you have to say, or the way that you come across, the way you're presenting yourself, maybe both of those things, and just evoking that sense within you, and knowing that that feeling is always there, just waiting to shine. And there's a lot of self-doubt that can just be kind of stacked on top of it. But ultimately, beneath all that self-doubt and beneath the worries and fears that we have about ourselves and the way that we come across or the way that others see us, underneath all of that noise is a knowing that we are exactly who we're meant to be. And the way other people respond to that says nothing about you. And just trusting that you are exactly who you're meant to be. And the most ideal version of yourself that you can imagine, every goal or aspiration that you have in your life, it's already exists inside of you. You've already completed these things. You are already that person. So just as you remember that, and as you act as the person, act as your ideal self, act as if it's already here, that is when it shows up and becomes your reality. Just with some patience, a lot of patience and trust in your instincts and your ability to shine and to express yourself as you need to. And letting some awareness come now into your heart. And just remembering a time when you have felt deeply and fully loved. When the love has just been undeniable. Maybe in your mother's arms, maybe in the arms of a lover, maybe holding your dog or cat or any animal. Maybe just laying on the grass or floating in the ocean. And just laying in the sun. Just remembering a time when you have just felt like everything is good. All is well. I am loved and we are all loved. And letting the proof of this love be just the reality that your heart is beating. And remembering how much of a miracle it is that there is this thing in your chest that is just constantly beating for you from the time you were in your mother's womb until your last breath here on earth. This thing is just constantly reminding you and telling you that you are loved and that this is all a gift, and also reminding yourself that we are not meant to feel this love all the time, and it is totally okay if you do not feel that love, and if you feel lost and separated and disconnected. And just reminding yourself that feeling like you are off track and feeling like you are off the path is a part of the path. And we will never escape these fluctuations of feelings. And we are not meant to. And our greatest source of this suffering can be the expectation that we should be feeling a different way. But simply by accepting the way that we are feeling, good or bad, that is what allows us to move through these with a bit more ease. And you can just imagine it like surfing or riding a wave. Sometimes the water is quiet and we can float. Sometimes there's a big wave that comes and just crashes over us and we get messed around in the water, and it's just feels turbulent. And other times we get up and we ride that wave and we rise to that occasion. And whatever you do is what you're meant to do. So if there's a big wave coming and you feel like you want to ride it, but you end up falling and crashing, be so proud of yourself for getting up and trying to ride it. And know that you gave it your best shot, and we're not meant to succeed all the time. And if we did, success wouldn't feel so good. Just trusting this love that is in you and letting your attention come into your throat and trusting your ability to be honest with yourself and therefore to be honest with others in your self-talk and what you communicate to yourself through actions and through words. And that will naturally bring that same honesty into how you communicate with others. And just remembering that you know what your truth is. And if there's any question of what your truth is, just take a moment to pause and be really honest with yourself. Because if a lot of times when we feel these like justifications coming in or like what ifs coming in, it's just distractions from our truth. And I find a really good trick with this is to just imagine that whatever you're questioning, whatever thing you're unsure about, imagine that your best friend was expressing that to you and what you would tell them. And odds are you'll tell them the hard truth that of what the reality is and what the next best step is. And it's really easy for us to be objective with others and just see what the path is. But with ourselves, we can get really clouded with all these feelings and emotions and what ifs. And know that that is natural and it's going to happen, and they're ultimately just distractions, and we can see through them when we want to, or when we do the work to do so. And now letting your attention come to your third eye center, where you can see yourself. You see yourself so clearly. And we either accept what we see and act accordingly, or we try to cover it up and hide and fear. We kind of fear the way that we don't want to be seen. So therefore we're kind of acting in the ways that we don't want to be seen because we're just thinking about that, if that makes any sense. I don't think that was the best way to say it. But just trusting that you do see yourself clearly, and that is what allows you to see the world clearly. And if there are any illusions present, or when there are illusions present in the way that you see yourself, just trusting that sometimes illusions are there to protect us, and the illusions clear, the mist will clear when we are ready to see everything. And sometimes I think there really is such a thing as like seeing too much too soon, and we can run away from the truth that presents itself out of fear. So just trusting if some illusions are present, just trusting that they are there for a reason and they will leave when you're ready and when it's time. And you can think about the caterpillar here and that messy, messy process of a caterpillar being in a cocoon and transforming into a butterfly. And you can't rip the cocoon open. You can't rush that process. If you rip the cocoon open, it will fall and crash. So trusting whatever stage you're in of your cocoon, and that you will emerge when you need to, and no sooner and no later. And finally, letting your awareness come to your crown, the highest point in your body. And now just trusting your clear connection to whatever divine source you believe is up there or anywhere. Whatever source you believe is allowing your heart to beat, whatever source you believe is created this gorgeous world that we see, and the moon, the stars, the sun, and the grass, the earth. And even if you believe that to be just science, maybe, if that's what it is, just feeling that connection to that and feeling your connection to the same, the rhythm, this rhythm that life exists in. And if you believe in a creator, then there's this line I really love from the Hermetica that says, has such a sublime work of art, no creator. Talking about this life that we live and this people and beauty. And is there such thing as a sculptor or as a sculpture with no creator, or a painting with no creator? And maybe to you there is, and that's totally okay too. But whatever it is that you believe in that is allowing all of this beauty to exist, the beauty inside of you, the beauty that is you, the beauty around you, above you, below you, all around. Whatever you believe that to be, just feeling your innate connection to that, simply because you are that life. Your breath moves just like the tides of the ocean, and your heart beats and pulses just like all of nature. It's this constant humming and life force that's just being pumped throughout everything. Just remembering that, of course, you are connected to that because you are life. Whatever created all of life, whatever force or source that is, you are also life. So you are connected to that innately. And there's nothing you can do that will disconnect you from that. So just once again, feeling the center line of your body. And as your body breathes in and out, can trace this spinal cord, trace this whole area from the root all the way to the crown. And maybe feeling that this is a bit easier. Maybe there's a bit more ease with the energy that's flowing up and down your body. And maybe not. Maybe it feels the same as at the start of practice, and that's okay too. Just noticing how it feels now. And maybe even seeing this connection of all your chakras, all your energy centers, your root, your sacral, your solar plexus, your heart, your throat, your third eye, and your crown. And just letting these areas shine and letting them fuel you. Trusting that all of these feelings that you have evoked today, it was all you. You have done everything that you felt. And my words have just been guidance to what you already know. And you have the ability to bring these out whenever you choose, whenever you feel a little lost or like you need some help in any of these areas. You have the keys to all the doors that you want to open. So just, if it feels like something you'd like to do, you can bring your hands to a prayer position at heart center. Just feel that connection of your palms and fingers to each other. And let your thumbs press toward your heart and let your heart lift back toward your thumbs. And as you take a full, deepest breath in you've taken today, let yourself be full of this new air and let it energize the things you want to empower within you. And as you exhale, just letting go of anything that no longer serves you. As you let your head gently bow. Just bowing to whatever source you believe is letting your heart beat. Bowing to the constant source of guidance and inspiration around you, whatever you believe that to be. Bowing to everyone else in this space who has listened to this practice and completed this alongside you. And most importantly, bowing to yourself for choosing to show up today, for choosing to listen, and for taking the time out of your busy life for this pure act of self-love and self-care. May this act continue to heal you through the rest of your days and nights, and may you bring the same love and understanding into everything that you do and to everyone that you see. Namaste.